For most of our lives, we're taught to work for money. But what if we could completely flip that around? What if our money could actually start working for us? Well, today we're going to dig into some amazing lessons from a real deal portfolio manager on how to do exactly that. So let's just pause here for a second. This is a big one. Are you just working for your money, or is your money working for you? Think about it. Is your income coming only from the hours you put in at a job, or do you have things, assets, that are out there making money for you, even when you're sleeping? That's the game-changing shift we're talking about today. And our guide for this journey is a guy named William E. Thomason. Now, it's really important to get this. He's not some financial planner trying to sell you something. He's a professional portfolio manager. I mean, his whole job is making big-time investment decisions. And his goal isn't just to throw a few hot tips your way. Nope. It's to show you the actual principles the pros use so that you can start thinking and acting like your very own money manager. Okay, so the very first step, and honestly, this might be the most important one, it's all about your mindset. We've got to learn how to shift our thinking from being a consumer to being an investor. And this quote right here, it just nails his whole philosophy. It's all about empowerment. See, the goal is for you to be self-reliant, to have the tools to make your own judgments, instead of just listening to what some so-called expert tells you to do. The pros know that things like fees and generic advice can just totally eat up your profits. So building your own perspective? That's absolutely crucial. And this is such a huge point. Getting a hot stock tip from a friend, that's not investing. That's basically gambling. It's a short-term bet. But learning how to actually research a company and manage a whole portfolio of investments, now that is a skill. It's kind of like planting a garden. It takes patience, a little strategy, but in the end, you get real, sustainable growth. All right, so if we're gonna build this wealth-building machine, what's the engine that makes it go? Well, it all comes down to this one incredible force that honestly feels a little bit like magic. It's called compounding, and we're gonna break down exactly what that is. Okay, first things first, we gotta get our heads around this basic idea, the time value of money. Super simple, really. A dollar you have today is worth more than a dollar you get next year. Why? Because the dollar you have right now can be put to work. It can start earning more money immediately. That dollar you get next year, it missed out on a whole year of potential growth. That's why starting early is everything. And this is where the magic really happens, the compounding effect. It's when your money earns a return, and then that return starts earning its own return. It's a snowball effect. It starts small, but as it rolls downhill over time, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, turning even small investments into some serious wealth. And if you want to see the real-world impact, just look at this table. It's wild. You've got two people, right? Both invest the exact same amount, $10,000. The only difference is when they start. The person who invests at age 25 ends up with over $650,000. But check this out. If you wait just 10 years and start at 35, that final amount gets chopped by more than half. That is the staggering power of time. I mean, you're dealing with something powerful when Albert Einstein himself supposedly called compound interest the most powerful force in the universe. When your money is really working for you, this is the force that's doing all the heavy lifting in the background. Okay, so we've got the engine compounding, but an engine is useless without a destination, right? You gotta know where you're going. Knowing how to invest doesn't mean a thing if you don't know why you're doing it. Your personal goals are going to be the GPS for every single decision you make. And your goal could be anything. Maybe you're thinking about a comfortable retirement and you're using something like a 401k at work. Or maybe it's for your kids' college education. Maybe you want to start a business someday. Or maybe you just want a solid emergency fund. The thing is, every single one of those goals needs a totally different game plan. And that brings us to a really key idea. You don't just have one big pile of investments. That's not how it works. You actually build different portfolios for different goals. I mean, think about it. The way you invest for retirement, which might be 30 years away, is going to be completely different from how you'd save up to buy a new car in 3 years. Different goals, different tools. All right, so we've talked mindset, we've talked mechanics. Now it's time to get practical. How do you actually, do it? How do you get started? This is the part where a lot of people freeze up, but I promise you it's way simpler than it seems. So you've basically got 3 main doors you can walk through. The easiest one for a lot of us is right at work, your company's 401k or 403b plan.
For something super safe and short term, you could go to a bank and get what's called a certificate of deposit, or a CD. But if you really want to build your own portfolio with stocks and funds and all that good stuff, you're going to want to open an account with a brokerage.
So let's talk about brokerages because this is a really key step, and it brings you to your first big decision. Are you the do-it-yourself type, or would you rather have a guide to help you out?
And the choice really comes down to this. On one hand, you have a discount brokerage. Think of this as the DIY option. The fees are way lower, which is awesome, but you're the one in the driver's seat. You make all the calls. On the other hand, you have a full-service brokerage. This is like hiring a guide. They'll give you advice, they'll give you ideas, but that personal service comes with much, much higher fees. So which one is right for you? Well, you've got to ask yourself a few questions. How much time are you really willing to put into this? Do you have any experience, or are you starting from scratch? And are you the kind of person who likes to be hands-on, or would you rather just delegate it to someone else? There's no wrong answer here, just what's right for you. We can talk about all of this stuff all day long, but in the end, it all boils down to this one idea right here. Learning about compounding and all of these strategies is fantastic, but that knowledge is just potential power. It's nothing. It doesn't become real power until you actually do something with it. So I want to leave you with this one last question to think about. At the end of the day, after all is said and done, who is the one person who is truly, ultimately responsible for your financial future? Yup, it's you.